Second, third, and second, right?
I just hope you guys don't sound a better Santa Claus. So yeah, it was fun. I mean, you come out here and see how excited the kids get, and it's really makes you appreciate what we get to do. I mean, they come in here and they look at the stadium and they see Santa Claus, they get excited. And sometimes we take it for granted. We get to come out here every day and play big league baseball.
How's the knee feeling, Mark?
Which one? It feels great, man. It feels great. Thank you for asking. I really appreciate that. I'm done with my rehab, and now we're really into like the strengthening phase. So I'm cutting, I'm running. It feels great. I always, unfortunately, since I've been through this before, I always have that one cut that I need to make to trust it again. I had that a couple weeks ago, and I feel great. So knees both feel good.
Going into spring training this year, it seems like you're just going to be specifically concentrating on second base instead of having to worry about left field or third base or first base. Can you talk a little bit about that? And is it easier now, kind of going into the spring, knowing that you're going to be focused on really one position?
It's nice to know that there's going to be one, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to work at the other ones in case something happens, and B, it doesn't mean I'm not going to work. I still got a lot of work to do at second base. There's a lot of room for improvement, and so that's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. I was kind of monitoring what was going on with Jose and seeing what would happen, and my understanding now is that I'm going into spring training as a second baseman or with a good chance to win the job. Now I got to get as comfortable as I can.
Defensively at second, what do you think is the area you need to work on the most? Is it range, moving to left or right, or is it the double play?
It's always going to be the double play.
Okay.
I think because it's the only play in baseball that you have to make with your back to the runner, to the play. It's the only one where I've got to catch the ball, I got to make a throw, and I can't see what's coming at me. So I got to get more comfortable with that. I'm not going to sit here and say that I feel great every single day at it, but I feel 100 times better now than I did a year ago going into this with all the work we were able to do.
What about on your offensive game? You see how the fences have been dropped and they're coming a little bit. You think you can see yourself hitting some more home runs this year?
I'd like to say yes, but at the end of the day, I'm going to try to hit the ball as hard as I can, as many times as I can, and if it happens to run out of real estate, that's kind of a bonus for me. But it's not a part of my game to go and try to hit home runs. But if I can consistently square the ball up, I think those will come.
Do you think there's anything you could have done? There was freak injuries that's in the back-to-back years. Was there anything you felt you could have done to prevent them, or was it bad luck just happened to happen?
I think it was a little bit of I'd say it was mostly bad luck, and then a little bit of I need to put myself in better positions to protect myself. I'm not going to sit here and say I had no fault in it, but I thought that both of the slides I got, one in AAA and the one this past year, it's kind of things that you can go a whole season without seeing. They happened to me twice, and the perception is going to be I keep getting whacked.
Were they clean? Were they both clean slides?
The first one I didn't think was clean. The second one was clean. There's a guy who I played against. He's 31 years old with his first taste in the big leagues, and he played hard, and he just came in a little hot. I don't think it was I don't think there was anything malicious about it. He just came and he got me, and learn from it, try to get myself in a better position going forward.
Do you feel that that's going to be something you're going to have to work on a lot this spring, trying to pivot at second base?
It's something I always work on. The pivot's one of the things I focus on the most is the double play pivot.
If you lead off, they've talked about possibly leading off. Would your approach change offensively, or you're a guy that you're going to be the same whether you're first, third, seventh, eighth?
I think that's it's a little bit of a vague question because the approach is always going to be dictated on what's going on with the score and the game. So I'm really only going to lead off one at bat a game, and then after that I'm going to let the game, the situation, the score kind of dictate from there. So I would say I'd like to see some pitches. If first at bat of the game, my job is to see pitches and see if the guys around me can see what's going on and what he's featuring that day.
Do you set goals for yourself like 15 home runs, 80 RBIs, 300, or do you just kind of say, hey, I just want
95 wins, 100 wins. I want to win a pennant, man. There's no better place on earth to win than New York City, so it's about time to get to it, I think.
So knowing you're I think fourth longest on the team now by David from Johan. It seems like you just got here.
You didn't know that.
You didn't know that, huh?
Well, now that you know, what do you think? I mean, you're one of the veterans here. So.
That's old. Man, I tell you what, I still consider myself to be fairly young, so I think we got a nice young core group coming right now. Plus the fact that the guys you mentioned, with David, Johan, and Pelf, I'm excited for what those guys are doing. We got a nice young core group coming up right behind them to be a good blend, good mix.
What's it going to be like playing against Jose Reyes, after being his teammate for the last few years?
It's good. I mean, it's it's going to be different seeing him in a different uniform. When we play him, he's on the other side now. I love playing with him. He's one of the best teammates, one of the best guys I've ever had the good fortune of playing with. But he's a Marlin now. And as far as I'm concerned, once the bell rings, you're on the other side. Now I'll go out and eat dinner with him if he wants to, but once the game starts, it's go time. And that's just kind of the way I view it.
Well, he can pick up the tab now for dinner, right?
I'll let him get it down in Miami.
You talk about, you say you have a young team and you want to win here. There's a lot of negativity around the team, especially coming from mainstream guys who get paid to do this stuff. How do you guys and your teammates, how do you stay above that? How do you guys stay positive, saying, you know what, we're a good team, we're major leaguers, we can go out and win, we can win a division, we can be a winning ball team.
Hey, part of it is just trying to control the things you can control. Unfortunately, we can't control what you guys write. We can't control what's written out there. But as of right now, I can control my off season. I can get stronger, I can get bigger, I can get faster. And then you start looking at the pieces. I mean, we scored like top 5, top 6 in runs last year. Our starters led the league, I think, in starts made. R.A. Dickey had a great year. I'm a huge believer in Mike Pelfrey. Nice threw the ball well. Dylan G had a breakout year. And then you start looking at the bullpen. I mean, we made some adjustments down there. So with the pieces coming together, it's quickly forgotten that Ike Davis, who is a killer in my eyes, missed 4 months last year. And I mean, he was some kind of locked in when he left. David missed 3, and we saw how good he can be when he came back for the first, for that month and then this year. So I think that's forgotten that there's some pieces here that if we can stay healthy, I think we can really make a run.
One thing you've always been adamant about is that you could play defense. I remember you being on the fan with Francesa, and he started in with you about your defense. You're like, well, I beg to differ. I can play defense, and you're pretty confident. It's something you work on. You take pride in too.
No, absolutely. It's something that I'm not just going to get to hit for 162 games. I got to catch the ball, and especially playing up the middle. We get a double play ball from Mike Pelfrey in the 6th with 2 guys on. I got to rock that pivot.
Does it bother you, the perception? Because that's something that's hammered home a lot on talk radio, that, hey, you can't play defense.
It doesn't bother me at all. And I think, with the small sample size at second, I consider myself to be pretty above average first baseman. And I just have to get as comfortable at second as I feel at first base.
Hey guys, this is going to be our last question, and then we got these.
You're going to go into spring training as the star, at least as most people think, and then there was rumors about a trade that the Dodgers were interested in you. How does that feel, knowing that from one day you're talking about being a starter, the next day someone else brings up a story that you could be traded, and then another day is with injuries and all the different things? How does a ball player handle all the different changes that could happen day to day in the media in your life?
Control the things you can control. And again, I think it was, maybe skewed as a little bit of a negative on me being traded or the rumors about that, but I looked at it as there's more than one team that likes me. There's guys in this organization right now that have value not only within these walls but outside in Major League Baseball. So I'm excited about what we got. I mean, we floated Nice's name out there. I was out there. David was out there, and I think we had 3, 4, 5 teams fight on all of us. So obviously we're doing something right around here.